Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We all have goals when it comes to money, whether it's saving up for a dream vacation, buying a home, or securing a comfortable retirement. But sometimes, no matter how hard we work, it can feel like we're stuck in the same financial cycle. Why is that? Well, the truth is, many of us are making simple yet common money mistakes that are holding us back from reaching those goals. The good news? These mistakes are fixable, and today I'm going to share with you the 5 most common money mistakes that could be sabotaging your financial future, and more importantly, how to fix them. Whether you're just starting your financial journey or looking for ways to improve your situation, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changes to make. Let's start with the biggest mistake I see many people making when it comes to managing their money: not having a budget. Now you might be thinking, I don't need a budget. I have a good job and I make enough money. But here's the reality. Not having a budget is like trying to drive somewhere without a map. You may be getting by, but you'll never reach your destination without clarity or a plan. When you don't have a budget, it's easy to overspend on things you don't really need and leave little room for things that matter, like saving, investing, or paying off debt. It also means you can't track your progress toward financial goals, and you'll end up feeling frustrated when you look at your bank account. But here's the thing. Budgeting isn't restrictive. In fact, it's the opposite. Budgeting is empowering. It helps you control your money, know where it's going, and make sure you're on track to meet your goals. Track your income and expenses. Start by understanding how much money is coming in and going out. List all your income sources: salary, freelance work, side hustles, etc. Then track every single expense, big or small. Yes, that daily coffee run adds up. Use apps like Mint, YNAB, you need a budget, or even a simple spreadsheet to track everything. Use a budgeting method that works for you. There are several budgeting methods, and the key is finding one that fits your lifestyle. Here are some of the most popular ones. 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to needs: rent, utilities, groceries. 30% goes to wants: entertainment, eating out. 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. Zero-based budgeting. Every dollar you earn gets assigned a job. At the end of the month, your budget should equal 0, meaning every dollar has a purpose, whether that's for spending, saving, or investing. The envelope system. This one is great if you struggle with overspending. You take out cash and put it in envelopes for different spending categories: groceries, entertainment, etc. Once the cash is gone, that's it for the month. Set realistic goals. When creating your budget, don't set yourself up for failure. Don't try to drastically cut spending overnight. Start with achievable goals, maybe saving $100 a month or reducing unnecessary expenses by 10%. Small steps lead to big changes. Track, review, and adjust. A budget isn't something you set once and forget about. You'll need to check in with it regularly. At the end of each week or month, review your spending and see if you're sticking to your plan. Adjust as needed, and don't be too hard on yourself if things don't go perfectly. Progress is key, not perfection. Let's look at Sarah. Sarah used to think budgeting wasn't for her. She was making good money, but when she checked her bank account, there was always something missing. After sitting down and using the 50-30-20 rule, she was shocked to see how much she was spending on eating out and shopping. By making small changes, like meal prepping for the week and reducing impulse purchases, she saved $500 a month. That money went into an emergency fund and towards paying off her credit card debt. Next up is ignoring debt. Many people avoid looking at their debt because it feels overwhelming or stressful. But ignoring it doesn't make it go away. In fact, the longer you wait, the more it can grow due to interest. This is especially true for high-interest debts like credit cards. Debt can trap you. It can prevent you from saving, investing, or even living the life you want. And the longer you ignore it, the more financial stress it creates. You might feel like you're just making minimum payments and getting nowhere, but there's a way out. List all your debts. Take a deep breath and list every single debt you have. Whether it's credit cards, student loans, personal loans, or car loans, write down the total balance, the interest rate, and the minimum monthly payment. Knowing where you stand is the first step to taking control. Choose a debt repayment strategy. There are 2 main methods for paying off debt: Debt snowball method. Pay off the smallest debt first. Once it's gone, roll that payment into the next smallest debt. This builds momentum and keeps you motivated. Debt avalanche method. Pay off the highest interest debt first. This saves you more money in the long run by minimizing the interest you pay. Consolidate or refinance. If you have multiple debts, consider consolidating them into one loan with a lower interest rate. This makes your payments simpler and can reduce the amount of interest you pay. You can also refinance high-interest loans for better terms. Increase your payments. If you can, increase your monthly debt payments. Even small extra payments can make a huge difference in the long run by cutting down interest and paying off the debt faster. Let's look at Mike. Mike had $15,000 in credit card debt and was only making the minimum payments. He was getting frustrated because it seemed like his debt was growing, not shrinking. After learning about the debt avalanche method, Mike decided to pay off the card with the highest interest rate first. It wasn't easy, but after 12 months, he had paid off $10,000 of his debt. The relief he felt was incredible, and now he's on track to be debt-free within the next year. One of the biggest financial mistakes you can make is not saving for emergencies. Life happens, and when it does, it's almost never at a convenient time. Whether it's an unexpected car repair, a sudden medical bill, or a job loss, emergency expenses can hit at any moment. Yet, so many people don't have an emergency fund, and that's when credit cards and loans come in. While using credit cards or loans to cover an emergency is common, it can lead to even more financial problems down the road. Debt and interest payments that could have been avoided if there was a financial cushion in place. An emergency fund is designed to cover unexpected expenses so that you don't have to borrow money or deplete your savings. Without it, you're constantly at risk of falling into the cycle of debt and financial instability. Start small, but start now. The goal of an emergency fund is to give you peace of mind so you don't have to worry about unexpected expenses. If you don't have an emergency fund yet, start with a small goal. Even saving $500 or $1,000 is a huge step in the right direction. Tip: start by saving a small amount from each paycheck. Even $25 a week can add up to $1,000 in less than a year. Set a goal for 3-6 months of living expenses. Once you've built your initial emergency fund, aim to save enough to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This amount should be enough to cover rent/mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, and any other essential monthly expenses. Tip: if you're unsure how much to save, calculate your total monthly living expenses and set a target based on that amount. Choose the right savings account. To make sure your emergency fund is easily accessible but still earning a little interest, put it in a high-yield savings account or a money market account. You want it to be liquid, meaning you can access it quickly, without being tempted to dip into it for non-emergencies. Review your fund regularly. As your financial situation changes, so should your emergency fund. If your expenses increase, adjust your emergency fund goal accordingly. Review it at least once a year to ensure that you're staying on track. Let's look at Kelly. Kelly was always living paycheck to paycheck. When her car broke down and the repair bill came to $1,200, she had no choice but to put it on her credit card. The high interest charges kept piling up, and it felt like she was never going to get out of debt. However, after realizing that she needed to build an emergency fund, Kelly set a goal of saving $1,000 within the next 6 months. She started by cutting out some unnecessary expenses like weekly takeout and shopping. Within 4 months, Kelly had enough saved for another emergency, and when her next unexpected bill came up, she was able to pay it in full, avoiding further debt. Let's talk about investing, or rather, the lack of investing. You might think that you're too young to start investing, or that it's too risky. The truth is, the earlier you start investing, the more your money works for you. Time is one of the greatest allies when it comes to building wealth. But many people, especially in their 20s and early 30s, delay investing because they either don't understand how it works or they're afraid of losing money. Unfortunately, every day that you delay investing, you're missing out on the power of compound interest. Every day that you delay investing, you're missing out on the power of compound interest. You're missing out on the power of compound interest. Start small, but start early. You don't need a lot of money to start investing. In fact, many online brokerages allow you to begin with as little as $50 or $100. The key is starting now. Even small investments made early in life can grow into significant wealth over time. Tip: consider starting with a low-cost index fund or exchange-traded fund, ETF. These funds allow you to invest in a diversified portfolio of stocks with minimal effort and risk. Understand compounding interest. The magic of investing lies in compound interest. This means you earn interest on your initial investment as well as the interest your money earns over time. The earlier you start, the more you'll benefit from compound interest. Example: let's say you invest $100 a month starting at age 25. By the time you're 65, assuming an average annual return of 7%, you'll have over $300,000 without ever increasing your investment. Know your risk tolerance. Everyone's risk tolerance is different. Some people prefer more conservative investments, while others are comfortable with higher risk, higher reward options. Understanding your comfort level is crucial when choosing your investment strategy. Take advantage of employer retirement plans. If your employer offers a 401k or a similar retirement plan, make sure you're taking full advantage of it, especially if they offer a matching contribution. That's free money that you don't want to leave on the table. Meet Jessica, a 27-year-old with a steady job who didn't think about investing until a friend told her about the power of compound interest. Who didn't think about investing until a friend told her about the power of compound interest. Jessica started with $100 a month into a low-cost index fund, and after 5 years, her investments had already grown significantly. Jessica then upped her monthly contribution to $250 and watched her wealth grow. At age 50, she's projected to have over $1.5 million in her account, simply by starting early and staying consistent. Here's a big one: focusing only on earning money and not building wealth. Many people think that if they just earn more, they'll eventually be financially free. But here's the truth: earning more money isn't the key to wealth. It's about building and managing assets. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of working harder and making more money, but if you don't use that money to build wealth, through saving, investing, and creating assets, you'll never reach financial freedom. But if you don't use that money to build wealth, through saving, investing, and creating assets, you'll never reach financial freedom. Wealth building isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. Wealth building isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. Understand the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, like real estate or investments. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, like car loans or credit card debt. Wealth is built by accumulating assets and reducing liabilities. Tip: focus on buying assets, whether that's investing in stocks, bonds, or real estate, while minimizing liabilities. Avoid purchasing things that depreciate, like expensive cars, unless they are necessary. Create multiple streams of income. Relying on just one source of income is risky. If you lose your job or something happens to your primary source of income, you could be in a tough spot. Instead, look for ways to create multiple streams of income, whether it's starting a side business, freelancing, or investing in income-generating assets. Make your money work for you. The key to building wealth is passive income. Income that comes in even when you're not working. This could come from dividends, rental income, or a business that you've set up to run with minimal effort. Tip: start by investing in assets that generate passive income. The more passive income streams you have, the more financial freedom you'll achieve. The more passive income streams you have, the more financial freedom you'll achieve. Consider Tom, a successful lawyer who was earning a 6-figure salary. But Tom realized that while he was earning well, he wasn't building long-term wealth. He started investing in rental properties, and soon his properties were generating passive income that allowed him to cut back on his hours at work. By the time Tom reached his mid-50s, He had a diverse portfolio of real estate and investments that generated more than enough income to live comfortably, without relying solely on his salary. That generated more than enough income to live comfortably, without relying solely on his salary. So, there you have it, 5 common money mistakes and how to fix them. The good news is that these are simple fixes that anyone can start implementing today. Whether it's creating a budget, tackling your debt, starting an emergency fund, investing early, or focusing on wealth building, you're now equipped with the knowledge to take control of your financial future. The key is taking action. It's easy to put off these changes, but the sooner you start, the sooner you'll see results. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how your financial life transforms over time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who might need it. Let me know in the comments which money mistake you're going to tackle first, and let's start building wealth together. Let's start building wealth together.